Hello, Group 2. Okay, so we were talking about a Kinect which would control an Earth floating in space. So what we've got here is an Earth floating in space. In terms of making the space and that whole kind of gas effect that we see there, luckily enough, I just happened to make this a few weeks ago. So we can just drop that one in there because that one's a little bit time consuming, but we're making that with a noise chop here, but not a mathematical one, but like a textural one. So we don't need to worry about that, but it's kind of interesting. So what's happening is I've got this star field up here in the box, and it's coming out, and then it's going into the main picture. A couple of things to think of. One is if you can set up the Kinect. Most likely I'll be there by the time you get to set up a Kinect, so I can help you with that. But this is our Kinect chop here. The chops are the green ones. So when you plug in the Kinect, it should see it and start giving you bits of information here. And what we've got in this area here, all these green ones here, are dealing with the Kinect information and making it work the way we want it to work. Sorry. So that's all the Kinect stuff coming in. Now over here with this blue sphere and our GeoCam and our light. That's just a simple sphere which I've put into a geo like we had a look at last lesson. And what I have done is found a map. Sorry, this keeps going in and out. This particular version is a bit funny on the scroll wheel. I found a map of Earth that was prepared, called a UV map. It's a kind of a map that you can wrap around a sphere. And what I did was I grabbed it and dropped it onto the phone and said color map, because that's what you do with a texture. So if that's a photo or something like that of whatever, a house or some grass or something like that, you grab that and you drop it onto the phone and you tick color map. You then grab that phone and you drop it onto the geo like that and say material. And then what that's done is it's wrapped that map really nicely around the Earth, or around that sphere, and turned it into an Earth. So like we did the other day, we did a geo, a camera and a light, and then we got it into a render. And that's how we go from being a 3D thing into a 2D thing. So it's 2D is what we need for a standard screen. Okay, so here's our Earth spinning in space. That's good, but we need some actual space. So I put a null there. I don't need that null necessarily. So we can just get rid of that one for the moment. What I did do, we'll ignore this for 1 second. We'll just have a quick look. And what we've done is brought the star field in and the Earth in, and we've put them together in a composite. So this is a way of putting one thing over the other. The only thing you have to watch out for is when you select it and you hit P, you want to make sure that it says over in this box. So you go to the over there, because there's lots of different ways to blend things, and most of them are not what we want. They're all different looking things. So we want over. And if it doesn't look right, if you're just seeing the space and you're not seeing the Earth, you go down to these two, which is the solarize is the Earth coming in and the null is the space coming in, and you just hit this button and you flick them around until it looks right. So that's the composite with the over, and then making sure this is in the right place. And the last thing, because mostly what we're going to do is get the Kinect happening and work that out together so it works in the way that you want it to work. is I've got a slider down here, and we've got an effect called Solarize, and that actually, normally it makes things look sunburnt, but in this case, when I move that slider, it makes the earth look like it's frozen. So we get a bit of a snowball earth. So that slider will move back and forth. When you open this program, if the slider looks like this and you can't move it, like the whole thing moves, you just need to tap on it and hit A, and that'll make it active, so you can then use the slider. And if you click this little button down here, that makes it not active again, which means you can move it around. So if you get a chance to plug the Kinect in, then great, have a play with it. If not, I'd like you to look at just see how this is put together here. I've just made it red so you can have a look at it, or you'll be reminded to have a look at it. Have a play of this slider, and we can put various other effects on the earth, and maybe we can control those from the Kinect. And like if I did something else, like I added in another movie file in, which would happen automatically. If you drag a picture in, then you automatically create this. But I've just gone and made the actual movie file in, and the default is a banana. So what happens if we go for a banana world? We drop it onto the Phong, we say color map. What do we get? We get banana world. Let's have a look. Oh, geez, it's gone. Oh, there we go. Giant banana floating in space. So you can have some fun with that. All you need to do is drop different pictures in. But for the moment, I'm going to take that banana out and drag and drop the color map in. Play with all of this. Play it, break it. When you break it, if it really doesn't work, just close it and restart it, and you'll be back to exactly what I've sent to you. So always good when you've got a backup to break things like this, because that's a good way to learn. You find out what works and what doesn't. That's it. Signing off. I'll see you very soon. Cheers.